Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Here are the latest headlines. Rain-triggered landslide floods in Uttarakhand kill at least 17 people still missing. Over 100 families affected. Rescue operations on. Heavy rainfall forecast for the weekend. After historic induction, Defence Minister says Tejas will be available for export to India's friendly nations. Parrikar adds 120 aircrafts will be inducted into the Air Force by 2015. Gunmen storm popular cafe in the diplomatic area of Dhaka and take several hostages. 2 police officers killed in the gun battle, around 40 others injured. Security forces trying to negotiate an end to the crisis. Australians head to the polls to cast their vote. Major parties make their final pitches in an extremely tight race. Polls give slight lead to Turnbull government. Well, the big story this morning in the incident reminiscent of the 2013 disaster, at least 11 people have been confirmed dead in Uttarakhand's Pithoragarh and Chamoli district. Now, heavy rainfall since Thursday night triggered landslides and flash floods. Now, 17 people are still missing and more than 100 families have been affected due to the monsoon mayhem. Now, officials said that in Pithoragarh, 8 people were killed in a landslide and 11 are missing, while in Chamoli, 3 are dead and 6 are missing. Now, following the news of casualties, the Chief Minister Harish Rawat announced an ex gratia amount of 2 lakh rupees each to the kin of those who lost their lives. The incessant rain has halted movement on the Thal Munsairi Road as well as the Rishikesh Badrinath National Highway. In Chamoli, the Laknanda River has crossed its danger mark. The officials said that casualties may mount as the authorities, along with the NDRF, SDRF and ITBP, are still engaged in rescuing people who are trapped under the muck from the landslides. Now, around 130 NDRF personnel working in 4 teams were engaged in the rescue work, while 200 SDRF personnel are involved. Now, the Indian Met Department has said that the heavy rainfall will continue unabated and they have issued an orange code warning for Saturday, indicating heavy to very heavy rainfall. IMD officials also said that Nainital, Haridwar, Tehri, Pauri, Almora, Udham Singh Nagar and Champawat are likely to receive widespread heavy rains.
मैंने आपदा प्रबंधन के लोगों से कहा है कि सब जगह अलर्ट तो हमने पहले से जारी कर दिया था, लेकिन सब जगह जो है आवश्यक सुरक्षा के लिए पहुंचे और बचाव कार्यों के लिए पहुंचे और मैं स्वयं उसको अब यहाँ से मॉनिटर कर रहा हूँ। चीफ सेक्रेटरी भी उसी काम पे बैठे हुए हैं। जिन लोगों की मौत हुई है हमें बहुत गहरा दुख है।
कुछ ऐसे भी लोग हैं कुछ स्थानों पर जहाँ वो दबे पड़े हुए हैं। हमारी टीम ऑलरेडी रवाना हो चुकी है, लेकिन उसको मल्टीपल चैलेंजेस का सामना करना पड़ रहा है। सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है कि रोड ब्लॉकेज है वहाँ पे। पिथौरागढ़ में ही 15 ऐसे स्थान हैं जहाँ रोड ब्लॉकेज है, उनको सब जगह क्लियर करके वहाँ पहुँचना पड़ रहा है। साथ ही साथ हम लोगों ने ये भी कोशिश की कि हेलीकॉप्टर से उनको भेजें, एयरबॉर्न करके भेजें, लेकिन पुअर विजिबिलिटी के कारण वो लैंड नहीं कर पा रही है। एज अ रिजल्ट हमारी टीम्स जो है वो रास्ते से जा रही है और पहुंच जाएगी और पहुंच कर ही वो सर्च एंड रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशंस करेगी।
Now to some other news, well, after historic induction of Tejas into the Indian Air Force, now Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar said that Tejas will be available for export to India's friendly nations. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi termed it a matter of unparalleled pride and happiness. Parrikar added that by 2025, 120 Tejas aircrafts will be inducted into the Indian Air Force. The first squadron of the Tejas has been named Flying Daggers.
After a long wait of 33 years, India's first locally built combat aircraft officially took to the skies on Friday. State-run Hindustan Aeronautics Limited handed over the first 2 light combat aircraft Tejas to the Indian Air Force. They will be part of the new squadron, Flying Daggers 45, which will get the remaining 18 aircraft, including 4 trainers, in 2018. The LCA is far superior to Pakistan's JF-17, built jointly with China. The first domestically built Tejas squadron will have 20 aircraft, with 4 in reserve. The squadron will be based in Bengaluru for 2 years before shifting to Sulur in Tamil Nadu. The induction ceremony saw 2 series production fighters SP1, SP2 joining the squadron.
That there is no doubt it will be the best fighter plane, and we've all worked together. It's synergy. Nobody else single-handedly can do this. The QRs were made. We had to change at times so as to get the best product for the country and for the Air Force. And I think we have achieved that.
The flyby-wire of this aircraft is excellent. Next to the flyby-wire is the avionics. The avionics is contemporary, state-of-the-art, and comparable to any modern fighter in the world today. The third and most important part of the aircraft is its indigenous composition. At least 70% of the aircraft is indigenous as of today, and we hope that in the coming days, more and more percentage of this will become indigenous, and we're looking forward to a fully 100% indigenous aircraft in the years to come.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar welcomed the induction of Tejas into IAF. Prime Minister Narendra Modi termed the event as a matter of unparalleled pride and happiness, and a step that illustrates the skills and strengths of Indian scientists. Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar called it a moment of national pride.
These are the first stage, and we will be inducting the ones which are capable of firing laser-guided intelligent bombs and beyond vision missiles, which has been successfully tried on this aircraft, maybe after 1 or 2 years. But it's something to be proud of.
The induction of Tejas comes almost 15 years after its first flight and 33 years after the project was taken up. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, on to the other big story. Well, India on Friday said that it will not sign the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty or the NPT to enter the NSG. However, it will try to resolve its issues with China. Here are the details.
India on Friday said there was no question of signing the Non-Proliferation Treaty to enter the nuclear supplies grouping. The government says India considers the treaty discriminatory and will not accept it under pressure from China or any other global power, although it will try to resolve its differences with China.
If you look at the statement that was issued, it said that unless India signs the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, it cannot enter the NSG. There is no way India is signing the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, which we rightly regard as discriminatory.
The Foreign Ministry spokesperson also made it clear that India did not have any problems if China proved its case to enter the MTCR. He said India will benefit from the MTCR and the membership is in the interest of national security.
We believe that India, as a member of these global export control regimes, contributes to global non-proliferation efforts. Our membership of the MTCR was assessed on those very standards, and it matured within 1 year of our application. As far as any other country is concerned, well, their application will have to be assessed on its own merits.
Despite blocking India's entry into the NSG, China hasn't calmed down. On Thursday, it blamed the US for inciting Indian efforts to join the NSG only with the aim of countering China's interests. India has rejected the claim, stating that Sino-US trade relations are many times stronger than those it has with India. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh on Friday chaired a high-level meeting to review the security situation in Jammu and Kashmir in the wake of a recent spurt of militant attacks there. The review meeting was attended by Governor N.N. Vora, Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti, among other top civil administration and security officials of the state as well. Rajnath Singh gave assurance of a positive outcome on opening of more LOC routes for trade and business in the coming days. He expressed dissatisfaction over the performance of the state government as well as the security forces and complimented them for excellent ground coordination and synergy. The meeting was deliberated upon the strategic issues pertaining to situation in the state with particular reference to development projects in the state. More news from Jammu and Kashmir. Well, amid tight security, the 48-day-long annual Amarnath Yatra begins. Now, Jammu and Kashmir's Deputy Chief Minister Nirmal Singh flagged off for the first batch of 1,282 pilgrims for the cave shrine in South Kashmir. Now, drones are being used for aerial security of the Amarnath base camp at Bhagwati Nagar area of Jammu city for the first time, while at least 20,000 security personnel have been deployed along the two routes. As many as 12,500 central paramilitary personnel and 8,000 state policemen have also been deployed. Now, Jammu and Kashmir has been reeling under increased terrorist attacks on security forces, posing a huge challenge to the security apparatus in ensuring a peaceful and incident-free yatra to pilgrims. Let's move on in the bulletin now. In first, the centre has asked the Law Commission to examine the issue of implementing the Uniform Civil Code. It also sought a detailed report on the subject. Now, this case is likely to be heard by the Constitution Bench of the Apex Court.
The centre has asked the Law Commission to examine the implementation of Uniform Civil Code. This is the first time it sought a detailed report on the subject.
I think this is a beginning. At least an action and initiative has been taken on this. The government has moved ahead to take initiative on this action.
The court has come up very strongly on Uniform Civil Code or those provisions of personal law which are coming in conflict with the Constitution. So now the time has come where personal laws should not come in conflict with the Constitution. And the court, we hope that the court will take a stand on this.
A uniform civil code will mean a set of common personal laws for all citizens. Personal law covers property, marriage and divorce, inheritance and succession. Uniform code has been opposed by various religious bodies in the country.
Supreme Court has addressed this question, and if government has asked the Law Commission to discuss the issue, let us see what Law Commission is going to propose. But the point is, the whole thing will have to be seen from the position of women. Women should get justice. Women should be treated equally in all spheres of life, in all religions.
Personal law also must conform to the constitutional basic structure, which is equality, freedom of speech and expression. And how can you be equal when the right to give divorce arbitrarily by triple talaq is given only to the men? Why can the women not have the same right?
मैं समझता हूं कि यूसीसी सिर्फ इसलिए उठाया जा रहा है कि विभाजन के मुद्दे, तोड़ने के मुद्दे, आपसी वैमनस्य फैलाने के मुद्दे और एक ऐसा वातावरण बनाने के लिए जिससे कि वोटों को खींचा जाए, ये दुर्भाग्य की बात है.
Non-implementation of a uniform code has been the subject of much political debate and often linked to secularism. The Law Commission will hold discussions with experts and stakeholders on the issue. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And the central government has unveiled details of a regional connectivity scheme that is expected to improve air connectivity. Now, the scheme caps fares for flights to unserved airports at 2,500 rupees for 1-hour flights. There will also be a demand-driven selection for airports for revival in consultation with the state governments and airlines.
Small towns Pune, Bhatinda and Bikaner could all go on the aviation map, thanks to the government's regional connectivity scheme that will apply to routes spread over 200 to 800 kilometers. A minimum of 3 and a maximum 7 flights per week per route will be allowed under this scheme, with a minimum of 9 seats and a maximum 40 per flight. The government hopes this scheme will utilize many unused airstrips and airports.
31 airports inactive as it is. So the inactive airports will become low-hanging fruit in different states.
A regional connectivity fund is also being created to fund the scheme. The fund will be financed through a levy of Rs 8,000 per departure on all domestic routes except remote and northeastern states. The government hopes to raise 500 crore rupees annually through this levy. States are also expected to contribute 20% to the fund, while the centre will also offer lower service tax to propel the scheme.
You see, the states are interested in connectivity. Till now, they have been coming up with wish lists. Now, states are the ones that are doing the economic activity, know the tourism potential, know the potential of this thing, they know their plans. So, if they feel that it is, because all this will be given to them, their feedback will also be taken into account with the, Government of India can't bypass any state.
The RCS is expected to be in place from the second quarter of the current financial year. India is the fastest growing aviation market, clocking a 22% rise in domestic traffic. The government hopes to increase the number of flyers to 30 crore by 2020 from present 8 crore. Government's regional connectivity scheme aims to attract air charter companies and non-scheduled operators to launch operations. But it would be important to see as to how states would react to this scheme, given the fact that they have to provide pecuniary support, free security and fire services, and also utilities at concessional rates. Reporting from Delhi, with camera person Prashanta, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
And news from down south, well, judicial services were crippled in Telangana with around 8,000 judicial employees going on an indefinite strike yesterday. Around 2,000 judges and employees from the state are seeking withdrawal of the provisional allocation of judicial officers between Andhra Pradesh to Telangana courts and the bifurcation of the High Court. The employees want the suspension orders of 11 judges to be revoked and vacant posts also filled up in various courts. Now, the strike is enforced in all the 10 districts of the state. Earlier, 11 judges were suspended on disciplinary grounds by the High Court. In Breakfast News, time for a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
Like we talk about a Earth, Mars mission or a Venus mission or a Moon mission, it's the time to get into an Earth mission. It's a global issue that we are still short of predicting earthquakes. We strive to do is, in the event of an earthquake, how to minimize the loss, first to human lives and next to the property.
Watch Eureka with Dr. M. Ravi Kumar, Director General, Institute of Seismological Research, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. Now, External Affairs Ministry said on Friday that it is too early to understand the implications of UK's exit from the European Union on Indian businesses and students. Now, the MEA said that it has been following the recent Brexit-related developments closely. It also emphasized that India has a strong and multifaceted relationship with the UK and the EU and are committed to strengthening these ties further. Now, following the referendum results, the High Commissioner in London had organised a meeting with the representatives of various sectors of the Indian businesses to understand their reaction to the referendum results.
We have been following recent developments very closely. We will have to wait and see the nature of the relationship that will evolve between the United Kingdom and the European Union. As we have said earlier, we value our strong and multifaceted relationship with the United Kingdom and the EU and are committed to strengthening these ties further. Considering that the UK, the EU and the world at large are still trying to grapple with an understanding of the recent referendum, it is still too early to understand the implications of Brexit on Indian businesses and students in the UK.
Meanwhile, Britain's shadow finance minister said that the country's vote to leave the European Union has caused intense uncertainty in the country. Now, John McDonnell of the Labour Party said that freedom to trade needed to be maintained in any future deal to leave the bloc. He also reassured EU citizens living in Britain that their rights to remain in the country would be preserved. Now, McDonnell was speaking 2 days after MPs passed a motion of no confidence to his party's leader, Jeremy Corbyn. Both of Britain's biggest parties have been left reeling by the EU referendum, creating a political vacuum, just as financial markets have been hammered by uncertainty about leaving the bloc, and fears also grew of an economic recession.
Our aim must be to ensure freedom of trade for the UK businesses in the EU and freedom of trade for EU businesses in the UK. Second, no EU citizen currently living or working in the UK will have their residency rights affected, and no UK citizens currently living or working in the EU will have their rights affected.
News from Australia now, and they have begun casting their votes today to decide who will form the government for the next 3 years. Now, the leader of Australia's Conservative Liberal Party-led coalition prompted the election by dissolving both houses of parliament in the month of May. It has been blamed independents in the upper house for blocking agenda in what is being called as a dead heat election. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull is warning of economic chaos if his gamble on an early poll backfires and leaves him without the outright majority he needs to enact major reforms. If Turnbull loses, now Labour opposition leader Bill Shorten will be the country's sixth leader since 2010. Several polls published on Friday showed that Labour and the coalition logged in a dead heat at 50 all or 51:49, with the government faring slightly better. And news from Bangladesh, where gunmen have stormed a popular cafe in the diplomatic area of the Bangladeshi capital and have taken close to 20 hostages. Now, 2 police officers have been killed in a gun battle and about 40 others are injured. Islamic State has said that it carried out the attack. The police are trying to find out the demands of the gunmen. Hostage situation in Bangladeshi capital. Armed terrorists are holding as many as 20 hostages at a cafe in the diplomatic zone of Dhaka since last night. Several foreigners are among those being held by 8 or 9 armed men in the Holy Artisan Bakery Cafe in the city's Gulshan district. The standoff followed a gun battle with police that left at least 2 senior officers dead and 40 people injured. Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the terror attack. Security forces say they are trying to negotiate the hostages' release.
আমরা এখন চেষ্টা করছি যাতে করে এটা শান্তিপূর্ণভাবে এটা কিছু করা যায়। তো এই ক্ষেত্রে আপনাদের আমরা সমর্থন কামনা করছি। আমাদের এখানে আপনাদের আমি সবাইকে বলবো যে আতঙ্কিত কোনো কারণ নেই, আমরা এখানে সবাই আছি এবং যারা এখানে ঢুকেছে অস্ত্র সহকারে তাদের সঙ্গে আমরা আবার বলি যোগাযোগ স্থাপন করতে চাই, কন্টাক্ট করতে চাই।
The incident occurred at about 8:30 p.m. local time on Friday as close to 8 to 9 gunmen attacked the bakery, which is popular with expats. A police in charge and officer of a nearby station was shot dead, while the second officer died from gunshot wounds. Most of the embassies and many other diplomatic missions are less than 1.5 kilometers from the cafe.
We're certainly aware of reports of what appears to be a hostage situation in the Gulshan neighborhood of Dhaka, in Bangladesh. We're also aware that local security forces are on the scene and responding. Our embassy in Dhaka is currently conducting accountability. They're also obviously in constant touch with Bangladeshi authorities as they continue to work through this very fluid, very live situation right now.
While the Islamic State has claimed a number of past attacks in Bangladesh, the government has consistently denied any IS presence in the country. The attack came on the same day a Hindu priest was hacked to death at a temple in the country's southwestern district of Janaida. The incident was the latest in a wave of killings across Bangladesh of secular bloggers, academics and religious minorities, despite the government launching an anti-militant drive across the nation last month. But many of those detained are believed to be ordinary criminals and not Islamic extremists. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And now to some news from Euro Cup. In a historic moment, now Wales reached the semi-finals of a major tournament for the first time after a stirring fight back to beat Belgium in the European Championship quarter-final on Friday. They will now face Portugal in the semi-finals on Wednesday.
In devotion of the whole Wales squad.
Wales produced a stunning upset to reach the Euro 2016 semi-finals after securing a 3-1 comeback win over Belgium on Friday. Belgium had taken a lead with a powerful strike by Rajya in the 13th minute, which Wales keeper Wayne got his fingertips on but could not keep out.
He's looking to make contact with both hands, but he's afforded so much space on the edge of the box.
After that, the pace the Belgians set in the opening stages waned and Wales equalised in the 31st minute when captain Ashley Williams headed home a corner delivered by the excellent Aaron Ramsey.
He spins away! For Wales!
Robson Kanu, who got the Welsh winner against Slovakia in the group stage, made it 2-1 in the 55th with a brilliant turn and shot inside the area from another Ramsey assist.
Robson Kanu, he's got Taylor. Robson Kanu! Incredible!
Substitute Sam Vokes puts the icing on the cake for Wales with a superb header from a Chris Gunter cross after 85 minutes.
To the middle. Vokes! Oh! I don't believe it! It is the greatest night in Wales football history!
It's an inch-perfect cross from Chris Gunter. It's an inch...
A mouth-watering duel between Real Madrid teammates Gareth Bale and Cristiano Ronaldo waits when Wales will face Portugal in the Wednesday semi-finals. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And from football to some tennis action, well, play was washed out for hours at the end of Wimbledon on day 5. But when it was not raining, the quality of tennis remained exceptionally high. Now, Juan Martín del Potro returned to Wimbledon after 3 years and 4 surgeries to beat Stan Wawrinka. Novak Djokovic went down by 2 sets to Sam Querrey before rain saved him for the day. Later, Roger Federer had no such problems against Dan Evans. And in the women's section, Serena Williams and Venus Williams also advanced in their respective matches.
On a day when rain caused a 10th delay of the week, forcing organisers to consider playing on the middle Sunday for the first time since 2004, Argentine giant Juan Martín del Potro shone beneath the centre court roof. Del Potro, playing at a Grand Slam tournament for the first time in more than 2 years, knocked 4th-seeded Stan Wawrinka out of Wimbledon. The 2009 US Open champion beat Wawrinka, a 2-time major champion, 3-6, 6-3, 7-6, 6-3 in the second round.
It was great. I mean, the last time I've been in the Central Court was against Djokovic in that amazing semi-finals, but I lost, and now I came again, and the crowd was unbelievable with me. The atmosphere down there was amazing, and they have a respect to me, and it's very nice and just be on the central court of this magnificent tournament is great for all the players.
In another match, third seed Roger Federer racked up his 150th tour-level win on grass as the world number 3 crushed Britain's Daniel Evans 6-4, 6-2, 6-2 in the third round on Friday. Third seed Federer, bidding for a record 8th Wimbledon title, will face Bulgaria's Grigor Dimitrov or Steve Johnson of the United States for a place in the quarterfinals.
So I might take a day off tomorrow just because I can. And yeah, I can. I'm sorry, I can. So I have to take them when I can. I'm an old guy. So anyway, so I'm looking forward to my day off tomorrow. And then on Sunday, I'll practice with more intensity, I guess.
Meanwhile, Novak Djokovic's hopes of a calendar year Grand Slam were hanging by a thread as he slipped 2 sets down to big serving American Sam Querrey before rain stopped their third round clash. The 3-time champion is trailing 7-6, 6-1 to the American in the third round match. After the second set, play was suspended because of rain. In the women's singles, Serena Williams rebounded after losing the first set and went on to reach the third round by beating fellow American Christina McHale 6-7, 6-2, 6-4. The 6-time Wimbledon champion lost a set for the first time at this year's tournament. She will next face Annika Beck of Germany in the third round.
Well, I'm proud of how I closed it out. That last game, I thought it was a very strong game. And, being able to get through that match it wasn't easy, but I was able to get through it.
On court number 1, her sister Venus Williams made it through the rain and into the fourth round by beating Daria Kasatkina 7-5, 4-6, 10-8 in a match delayed 4 times by rain. When play resumed, the match lasted only 16 more minutes as Williams finally broke her opponent's serve again to win. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
That's all in this news bulletin. Thanks for watching.